Hello, everyone, and salutations to all. Greetings from Japan. A snowy day it is today. Very surprising. I woke up at 7:30 to sunshine, fell asleep until 10, woke up to cloudiness, and within 1 hour, snow. So, my last video, put this guy together right here. Well, put it together. Well, paint it. Didn't even paint it. What the heck am I saying? Got the decals all installed. There's a bunch of extra decals, but I'm not going to put them on quite yet because I know some of them are needed for some like guy's helmet and everything. So I'm going to hold off until the very end before I use up the rest of the stickers, if I use them. But yeah, this part is done. I think I mentioned that in the last video. The reason why I'm building this one right now is because it doesn't need to be painted, which is nice. So again, this is the Tamiya 58184, aka 7200, secondary part number from 1996. Should be a fun, cool little buggy. And I'm mistaken. The body itself is actually marked 1991. Which is really interesting. You can't really see it here. Well, you can't see it here. The date is right here. You can't really see it, but oh yeah, there you go. 1991 Tamiya. So even though this one was sold in 96, again, I don't know how long this body ran for. It was cool though. So for today, last time I started off backwards, of course, went all the way to the end to just do the body. And today I'm going to begin, going to begin building from the beginning. So, got the nice book here, all my parts here. These are the extra stickers, of course, not important. So, with that said, Vorsicht! Bevor Sie mit dem Zusammenbau beginnen, sollen Sie alle Anweisungen gelesen und verstanden haben. Basically what they're saying, it's written here in English, but I don't trust the English translation. Read the whole thing before you build it, is basically what it says in German. My Japanese, I can't read kanji very well, but I can kind of 作る前にからず cannot read those kanjis. 読んでください. But just based off of the context, of course, it's understandable. But I should practice my kanji. I haven't been practicing recently, and if I don't practice, I forget it instantaneously. So, with that said, I do have some 1150 bearings here. This is my last set of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got 12 left here, and then of course my other bearings that I used for my Mercedes-Benz. I got some spares here. This is actually this is a reverse bearing set. Originally 900 yen. I paid 330 for it. Well, not used, but from my local, from one of the reused places that I buy stuff from. Haha. Kyosho stuff, of course. I'm really big into Kyosho. Tamiya, I like Tamiya too, of course, but Kyosho is kind of my my preferred weapon of choice. I don't know. So we're gonna begin here with Boxo parts, my root beer, courtesy of Costco, and my nerves. So. And of course the chassis. And what's really cool about this one is, as you can see here, the battery is actually mounted at maybe a 60-degree angle upwards. So 90 being here, and it's about yay much or so. 45 would be a little bit more. But it's about a 60-degree angle, which I've never seen before. Here also marked 1991 Tamiya. Interesting, actually. I could have sworn this thing said 1996. But I don't know, maybe there's a typo here. That's really weird. Shoot, maybe this is a 91. I could have sworn to God, though, it said 96. I'm not even joking. 1996. Yeah, it says 1996. It's gonna be upside down. It says 1996 right here, but that's interesting though. Body is 91. I don't know. Maybe this wasn't very popular. With that said, I'm just gonna let's take a look. Here is your B bag. I'm just gonna dump everything out. Motor. There's A bag. Here we go. A, B, C. These are this is suspension stuff that goes there. It's nice to be a little bit organized at least, so especially with the small area. And of course the diff, which these are kind of cool. And then your servo saver. I don't know if this one's any good, but I might use it. I try to go with all original stuff or period correct things, so call me a purist, call me an idiot. Well, I'm definitely not a purist, so definitely not a purist. So we're going to begin with, let's take a look here. We got an A6 tie rod. We got tie rod, 3x10, Zustange, Lenkhebel, steering horn. So, don't know where any of that is. Some of these things are not labeled, so for the sake of some early prep. Oh, this is for the battery actually. It's the battery holder right here. And this is going to be for holding the body in place. That much I do know. Here we go. There's another bag right here. There we go. This is almost basically everything except for the rear diff, so I'm gonna just dump everything out here. Make a nice big mess. So these are the front. I'll put the arms right over here for now. Got our 2 rods. Got the front end. Some other small stuff here. So I do believe it's going to be these 2 guys right here. And this is for the motor actually. It's always fun opening everything up and then wondering where everything is. Okay, that's for the servo, or that's going to be probably for steering, some mounting brackets, etc. Alrighty, what the hey? Oh right, A bag. I'm an idiot. So it says right here even A bag. I'm blind. I'm just gonna go ahead and tear this open. Yeah, I wasn't. Oh, okay, cool. It stopped snowing. I wasn't too sure what I was gonna do today. It's actually my day off. More suspension stuff here. But, here we go. I believe this is what I'm looking... no, not quite. Here we go. I don't work on Mondays. I work Tuesday through Saturdays. So today's plan, I wasn't too sure what I was going to do. And then I thought, you know, why don't I just make a video? Let me continue building this. Why not? This is just, whoops. There you go. This is the steering horn right here, and we got our 2 arms. I guess I'll have the Tamiya pointing upwards. That would look kind of cool. This way, I guess, sure. And, oh yeah, they say to use pliers. Except that my pliers are currently in my car. I had to do some work on my car yesterday. There we go. Ooh, tight like a tiger. So, yeah, I wasn't too sure what I was going to do. And I just decided, hey, you know what? Let me just work on this today. Why not? There we go. Because I get lazy sometimes. And, oh, okay, there you go. And I want to try to at least get some more, or be more consistent with my uploads. Things happen in life, obviously, all the time. And I get a little busy here and there. Hence why I took about a 2-month hiatus, 2-month break. 3x10, let's take a look here. And there's your 10, and by 3, of course, should be correct. And with that said, my project, see, I should have brought with, whatever. I have a lot of different projects that I'm working on, and I have 2 more projects that just came in. I went again to my used store yesterday, and they had some RC cars finally again in stock. I bought 2 actually on accident. Oh, come on. This is actually not the correct size driver. Okay, you know what? Okay. Give me just a moment here. I'm gonna get a different Phillips head because this one's too small. This PH1 should be maybe a 2 or a 3, I think. A little bit too pointy. BRB. Well, pow! I'm back again. This time with a nice screwdriver and my bit set. But this is actually the perfect size. Get a lot of torque on there. There we go. Jesus, this thing's pretty hardcore. Well, I guess you don't want this thing to ever come apart, so. Okay, she's on there. You know, I was just thinking about this. So, I'm gonna have to pull that apart again. I just remembered that I picked this up for $330, I think. $220? Oh no, $220. It's Sarah Grease HD Tamiya Boron Nitride Compound. 87,099. Star 480. I think I'm gonna use some of this actually today. This is actually unopened, and because it says here you can actually use this on plastic and on metal, so reduce friction loss by 50%. Apply to both plastic and metal parts such as gears, axles, and joints to increase efficiency. Do not apply to switches. So, let's go ahead and crack this guy open here. Why not? And use some of it. I have a bad habit of buying things and then not using them. And like what I was just about to say, I'll go ahead and use this here. Why not? But then you end up with there's a lot of grease, so give it a nice fine tip here. I think that'll work out better. Oh, Jesus. It just spluttered all over the place. Good God. We got a squirter. Holy moly. Okay, so this has probably been sitting around for a while. It's okay, though. Got my little rag here. But, yeah, speaking of not using stuff, yeah, I was at my store yesterday. I frequent, it's about 10-minute drive from my house, from where I live, house, home, apartment. And yeah, they finally had a bunch more cars in, so I picked up a, well, front-wheel drive. There we go, this little Dabruzi will do her in right there, just a little bit. Yeah, picked up a front-wheel drive Tamiya. Was not exactly on my list of things to buy, but it was labeled, it's a 239mm wheelbase front-wheel drive, has a bunch of trick stuff on it. Also cost, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than what I wanted to pay, to be honest with you, but it was still cheaper than buying a new front-wheel drive Tamiya, and then also getting something that I cannot use. So, long story short, a while back I did an unboxing video on a really cool body that's supposed to be a 1/12 scale, but it doesn't actually fit my other 1/12 scale car. And so for a while now, actually, ooh, that feels nice. That gets rid of some of the slop too. So for a while I'd been thinking, well, let me get a front wheel drive Tamiya and then use that and see if it'll work on that body. The catch is, I don't want to spend, $160 for, I'll crack open my root beer here, for an RC car that I might not be able to use, etc., etc. So, that's that. And then another couple 3x10s here. I got these two guys right here. And the D1 horn. Where is that guy? So yeah, they had it for sale at my store that I go to. And I thought, you know what, for 60 bucks, let me just take a risk. And that's what I did. Here she is. And I got it home. It has aftermarket suspension. It's got a really trick speed controller. It's actually sitting right next to me on the floor. I'm not... hell with it. Let me just show it to you guys real quick. This is what I picked up. Doink. So it's got a USA Taken Pro Star imported by Yokomo speed controller. It's got some really nice. It's got an RS901 Sanwa servo, the aluminum brackets and everything, trick suspension, metal faceplate, 239 mil length. It's got the aftermarket suspension. All aluminum ball ends, sway bar for the rear end. It's too frickin' long though for one of my bodies that I have, my Sil 180. Sorry, my S15, my S15 Sylvia, and which means that it's probably going to be too long even for that other body that I picked up. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm in the losing department, but I have some ideas for what I can use it for, though, so I'm just gonna worry about that later. Worry about that later. And you know what? Let me use this guy. The other screwdriver is nice, but it's actually a little bit too big, so let's take a look here. Actually, shoot. This set also, I don't have a bigger one than this. Oh well, it is what it is. I have one other screwdriver that I could possibly use, but I think this will be okay. So in any case, that's just more projects that I'll need to work on later on at one time, point or another, and I'll do some video on those cars. So yeah, I picked up 2 of them. So that one was the expensive one, and then the other one, the only catch with it is that the diff in the front has a hole in it, which doesn't affect performance, but you could still maybe get a rock that can get chucked up in there. That's something that you could just put some plastic. The previous person put tape over it to prevent stuff from getting in. I'll probably end up plastic welding a new plate onto it, so make it solid. But in any case, that was the expensive one. Then there's one more that I picked up. There you go. Get this guy nice and tight. Or as tight as it's going to get. I'll give this another 1/8 of a turn. I want to make sure that there's no play. A little bit more. The other one that I picked up, which is an HPI Racing, also has a bunch of trick stuff on it, aftermarket parts, stock suspension, I think. Really trick speed controller too. I paid 30 bucks for that, or 33 bucks with taxes, give or take, plus or minus a couple of football fields. And it's got the carbon fiber body and everything. It's pretty cool actually. Okay, so that's that. And okay, now let's go to this part right here. And I'm not quite too sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'll do something with it for sure. It has a bunch of parts on there that I was interested in. So only catch with that one is that the front joint driving knuckle on the passenger side is snapped off at the bottom. So it looks like somebody hit something and just decided, screw it, getting rid of it. So works good for me because I can fix that. So, and I have a huge box of spare parts. MA9, MA10. One thing I have to say is the fact that they actually have this to scale is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty. I kind of like that. Okay, good. I did not screw up. Whew. That freaked me out for a second. This is the MA. That's the MA. These are smaller. MA3. That's going to be these guys right here. And the MA6 is going to be these two guys. Raw. Yeah. It's doing a little prep work here. So. But yeah. Lots of little projects. And I'm going to try to post weekly when I have time to show off some of the other stuff that I've been working on, that I've been talking about for a while now, but have yet to show. I'm terrible. Apologies. Alrighty, let's take a look here. So these are the should be, yeah, this is correct. So it's this guy right here, and then this is going to be this guy right here. So right and left suspension arms, A1, A2, and then we have the MA7 with the MA9. So got to make sure this orientation is right. This should be pointing forwards and should be greased too. Okay, cool. This actually comes, this comes with grease actually. Nah, I'm gonna use the good stuff. This is why I bought this here, so I'm gonna use the good stuff for once. For once. Yeah, for once, literally. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do my best to be a little bit more proactive with putting up videos. Again, it just, stuff comes up, I get busy. I don't have a lot of time to begin with, so no excuse in a way, though. In a lot of ways, that's a terrible excuse. But go ahead and get this nice greased up. Slide him in here. And slide her down like that. Almost no play, which is good. I always like that. Ah, so much easier to install. There we go. It's got a little bit of a play, but I could shim it. I could shim it if I want to, but instead, let's give it a little extra turn. There we go, that's better. That's perfect. There we go. I'll do the same thing on the other side. I guess in a lot of ways I should be doing this during the winter season before the summer season begins, or before it starts getting warm. So then when it, when it warms up, I'll have everything ready to go and can start going out and hammering away here. There's a kind of a little mini park where I live. You know, I got some swings and a slide and everything. Pretty basic. Well, had swings. They got rid of them. Probably safety or whatever. But perfect place for running buggies and trucks. Especially right now with no grass. A little bit of play there. Give it an extra crank or two. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, that's a little bit too tight. But that'll be the testing grounds basically for this car, or this buggy here, I think. There we go. That's good. You don't want it to be all floppity. That should be good. Yeah, this one's maybe a little bit on the tight side after all. But I don't want any play in it, damn it. Oh, actually, this one's just tight in general. Huh, word. That's fine. That means I'll just balance it out by giving this guy an extra turn. There we go. Cool. So, but yeah, once the season rolls in, hopefully gonna have some more of these project cars done, and then I can just go out and hammer away at them and just have fun. So now we have the front side here. This is the left side, this is the right side right here. And let's go ahead and... Oh, it's even labeled. It's even labeled left. My bads. And R. I'm a little tired today, aren't I? Oh well. So, go ahead and slide it in here. Clip it down. Slide in here. Down like so. Attach suspension arms as shown. So that means what they're saying here is these guys... Wondering if I should... yeah, you know what? I got the grease. I didn't lube the inside ones, but these outside ones I think could benefit from a little bit of lube. Just because this is going to be where it's going to get maybe a bit of dirt and grime and grunk, so this will hopefully keep some of that out and make it easier to snap on. Nope, still difficult. Oh god, okay. Well, I don't know if you realize I actually got these guys out when I went to get the other screwdrivers. There goes my measuring thing, whatever, it's fine. There we go, clunk. Boy, that's tight though. Jeez Louise. And then there we go. Well, they're pretty new, so ooh, feels nice. Flip her upside down again. So that's number 3 here, and number 4 is going to be Stoßfänger. Attaching bumper. Fixation du pare chokes. I don't know. I do not speak Spanish, French, anything like that. There we go. Probably offended a bunch of people. So MA3, that's going to be it's a 3x10. It should be these guys right here. I definitely have a fixation on measuring everything. Ah, are these the right ones? Has to be. A little bit on the short side, but it's 3 of each, which means that it's probably the correct one. So the 3x10s go into the back here. 1E and a 2E. Self-tapping screws. I'm wondering if they made this body like an aftermarket one. I doubt it. But it would be cool to have one made out of metal, all machined. That'd be pretty slick, I think. Probably would cost like $500. I mean, you have to machine this out of a solid piece of aluminum. But plastic is fine too. I already got that done, and now we got these super MA 6x2s, 3x22 here for the front. Alrighty, looks like the snow has passed. See some patches of sunlight. Still cloudy, but some patches of sunlight. Yep, this guy ain't gonna work. I have one other better screwdriver, but I'm too lazy of a man to pull it out, even though it's in my front office, so whatever. Go ahead and crank this down nicely. Also, as a side note, I am gonna split this video up into a few different sections. Maybe the A assembly, B assembly, C assembly. We'll see. I've not fully decided yet, but it's not going to be a crazy. I mean, it's already already 30 minutes in, so that went quick. But for what it's worth, here's the front end, the steering. That feels nice. That feels real nice. This has some front to back play. That could have actually been shimmed. You could shim it if you want to. One side has this right side has a little bit more play compared to the left side. Let's see if you can see that. I don't know how you'd shim it though. Maybe with some O-rings or something. Yeah, probably some like grease. I don't know. Oh shoot! I guess I could have greased that. Whatever. I wouldn't want to use this grease for that. I would use maybe something a lot thicker, just to kind of take care of some of that slop, even though it would probably all get pushed out pretty quickly. I don't know what you would do to get rid of that play. So, alrighty, so that was number 4. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go to the next page. Ooh, we're almost done with A. So I think, yeah, maybe I'm gonna split this up into some separate videos. So I'll do A, and then B, and then C. That'll be, well, it'll make it more palatable. I'm gonna get my root beer here. I mean, hey, more uploads, that's a good thing, right? Alrighty, MA8 by 2. We got these two guys right here, for sure. And then we have the MA1 to 3 by 8 mil. So that's going to be these guys right here. They're a little bit shorter, so. And then from that same bag, these two guys right here. It's going to be for number 5. And we have our front dampener assemblies right here. These are all stockers, of course, which I'm okay with. Again, it'd be cool to get some period correct, you know, oil-filled cartridges or, you know, whatever. But not necessarily necessary, required. It'd be nice to have, but in some ways, keeping these all original is also kind of nice, or as, you know, period correct as possible. If I want to go, well, yeah, if I want to go have fun with a fancy RC car, I have other cars for that. So I have other vehicles for that. These vintage ones, these are going to be built as is, and maybe the only thing that I would change or upgrade would maybe be the motor. Yeah, maybe. It would definitely be the motor. And that's about it. I mean, that's all that you really have to upgrade. I should be careful with what I say. In my opinion, that's all that I would upgrade for a vintage RC like this. Again, unless I can find some period correct stuff, which, you know, it's not a priority for me. It's low priority. Now it's 0 priority. I need to first build these damn things before anything. So let's go ahead and we got the F4 here. These are the long ones, or short ones and long ones. So then we have the F2, which is going to be this guy right here. Now there's short ones and long ones. The long ones I'm going to assume are for the back, and the shorter ones are going to be for the front. This is the front suspension, so I'm going to go with my instinct on this one. And go ahead and oh, okay. I see. I got you. So this guy actually goes down through the center here, like so. Well, they sure were inventive when they came up with this idea, that's for sure. I don't think I've ever seen a shock assembly like this before. I'm probably wrong. I've assembled some weird suspension in the past, like the Mercedes-Benz. That was really interesting, but this is also pretty interesting. Oh man, I might actually have to get my other screwdriver. Shoot. Well, let's go ahead and I don't necessarily want to damage this, so get my little towel here, like so and like so. Crank away at it. There we go, that's better. I'm going to assume that we should go until all the threads are gone. Ah, there we go. Yep, there we go. She's bottomed out. Don't want to overdo this one, actually. There we go. Now, F1 is going to be these guys right here. There's 4 of these. So there's 2 here. This is for the front. Then there's 4 of these. These are the bottom caps. And then these are the front lower. And these are the rear lower assemblies right here. So this will be for the next one right here, right here, right here. And this guy right here. So got your little holder screw right here. And tighten her down. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy, pretty simple. Not the best on the planet, but I guess it'll get the job done. It's a little vintage buggy, so that's fine. Again, it's kind of cool seeing, or with these old RCs. It's obviously not the best, but I'm also not a competitor. I'm not, I'm not doing competitive racing. I'm just, backyard tinker for the fun of it. So I'm wondering how good or bad this thing's gonna handle. But hey, it's still pretty cool though. And there's something to be said about seeing one of these as they had originally, sold it at the time, and just enjoying it rather than constantly fussing and focusing on upgrading and this and that and dumping another, $2,000, $3,000 in aftermarket parts. Just run it as is. Enjoy. Get a good motor. Get a good speed controller. Spend money on that instead. I think that's far wiser, better investment. There we go. Good to go. And maybe ball joints, or a ball end, whatever socket things like what's here. So that's worth it. So all the other stuff, no need. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, especially on something this old, So with that said, doesn't say here to grease anything up. However, I will actually grease up this surface right here. Just a little bit, just a little dab. Can't hurt. Doesn't hurt. Oh, okay. So here also there's 2 different points that you can install the suspension. There's a point, pretty sure these are the 2 different points. There's this point here, this point here. This will give you lower stance, this will give you a higher stance. And it's actually saying to go with the lower stance. So I'll go with the outside one here. Again, just give this a little dab of grease. Can't hurt. This is for the top. And then for the bottom, we want to have the outside facing also. In hindsight, once dirt and grime and junk gets in here, it's kind of like, well, that grease was pointless. but at the same time, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Oh, sorry. Let me get back into frame here. Like I mentioned before, normally I don't... Well, I'm so vested in... oh, that needs to be... The lower ones need to be the long ones, right? So the upper ones are the short ones, and the lower ones are the long ones. But yeah, I tend to get very vested in what I'm doing, so... Not on purpose. I'm just focusing and having fun. There you go. All the way through until she's tightened. Like that. And again here, it's got play front to back. Could be shimmed. I'm not going to shim it right now. For the time being, it's just running as is. And here, even in the front, these upper suspension pieces right here could definitely be shimmed. But that's okay. It's actually not too bad. I'm not gonna... That's actually not too bad. So yeah, one of these days... Well... Not to sound like a broken record, but yeah, one of these days I'll get some of my other vehicles posted. Show you guys what I've been building. And again, just gotta remember. There you go. Something interesting actually happened this morning. I was checking my email and got this invitation for a survey, and me being the way I am, it's like, okay, first of all, hover over the link. Is it a downloadable file? Is it a virus? Is it a scam? So then I just took the link, pasted it into a separate browser, Microsoft Edge, of course, because I never used that. Okay, it was legit. It was a survey on, politics relating to COVID, to the president, and education, all kinds of interesting stuff. Wow, this one could really use something, actually. That's a lot of play. Oh, well, whatever. Whoop, whoop. Cool. Feels actually kind of nice. Not bad. Cool. And, these are snapped in. And, yeah. I, of course, filled it out as to the best of my knowledge. That feels good. And to make a long story short, yeah, it was an interesting, it's just asking about political things. I like the, which are you, left, right, or independent? I'm like, well, how about none of the above, but all the above combined? How does that work? Which is basically my stance on politics. Alright, so with that said, this is the front end now finished. I'm going to break this up into smaller sections. We'll do a section A, B, and C. This is section A finished, up to page 6. Number 6. Everything's clipped together. Everything is working. Next up is going to be the differential, actually. So, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my pieces parts for that right now. And see if I have bearings that can be used. Because I'm already seeing an 850 bearing here. And I might have something that'll work. We'll see. Alrighty, with that said, this concludes the part 1, I guess, front suspension? You could call it. Part A, front suspension. And, yeah, hopefully somebody finds this useful. If not, that's okay too. I'm doing this for archival purposes. And just in case anybody has the same kit and they want to see how I'm putting it together, if they have questions, or if they bought a kit and maybe it wasn't a complete kit, You know, now that they can reference this and see exactly what's in one of these and how it's all put together. Or maybe you don't have the manual, even though you can download the manual. I'm pretty sure of that. Very sure of that, actually. Tamiya is actually pretty good with that, which is cool. So, well, with that said, yeah, y'all have a great day, and I will be preparing for part 2. See you then. Rock on.